crazy boot spur.
I'm looking forward to Stronghold beta. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll,
sad about that. I have no interest in Stronghold anymore since they
What do you
nerfed turret
mean?
engineer.
Oh, okay.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is a shame.
I'm gonna try and get some kind of troll mass blind teams together and go for the ultimate speed run. So just go mass script bombers, and then maybe run loads of necros and thieves and just blind everything so they can't kill the script, and just go straight for the Lord. Because on my stream, when I was playing in the beta, we managed to get it down in something like 2 minutes 40. We managed to beat, yeah, we won a game in 2 minutes 40. I want to see how fast we can get.
But that's, I mean, when I played a little bit with Terza the first time in the first beta, and she was telling me a few tricks. Like, for instance, apparently if you give the script 25, well, as much might as possible, the might apparently affects the damage they do to the doors, like quite generously. So I ran my Mad King Rune's Phalanx Warrior. And so I popped Mad King runes on the two guards there, and they all got 25 stacks of might, and then like in one shot, the door went down. And so yeah, that's a good strategy. So you go run one flanked warrior, one mesmer for quickness, and one thief for stealth, and then it's just like right in there. I think it's a good idea.
All gonna get built into the final strategy.
Yeah.
The ultimate cheese.
I'll be interested to see if they've made some tweaks and changes to Stronghold on Tuesday.
What
I
kind
don't
of
know whether they have or not, but I'll be interested to see if they have.
what kind of thing would you expect though?
Well, there was quite a bit of feedback that people gave once that first beta was over. I'd have to go back and even look at my own notes, but
Like
there
more
was
reason to interfere with the supply runners.
well, there was some positioning questions in one of the Lord's rooms where the mage is in a good spot in one of the Lord rooms, and in the other Lord room he's not in a great spot. He's like in an easier to kill spot. He's like on the ground floor rather than being elevated.
Oh, so it's like much easier for one team to win over another?
You can
not
kill the
win,
mage
but
way
you
easier.
can kill the mage faster, and because he's like the more dangerous of the people in that area, like that's who you focus first when you go in, is you kill the mage, and then probably like the cleric or something, and then whatever.
There was if you're not finished, I was just gonna say something.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, there was also a spot that we found. If you got CC'd with a knockback in a particular location, it would knock you under the map, and you could kill the other lord with your underwater weapons without taking the bait down. So that was pretty funny.
It's not intended.
Yeah.
And then there was just some other things, like one of the passageways is more narrow than the other going up to the Lord's room. That's like a map thing. The way that the after the first spawn of champions, what are they called? Are they called champions?
Heroes.
Heroes. So after the first spawn of heroes, the last one that spawns it spawns at like I don't remember the times. I'd have to go look at that actual information. But when he spawns, he doesn't have enough time to run from your spawn point to the actual Lord's room. Like, even if he's unimpeded, he'll never make it there before the end of the game, before time runs out. So, like, that needed to be adjusted a bit, too, I think. There was little things like that.
Hold on a second.
Go
I
ahead.
just checked, and apparently we're actually started streaming already.
Yeah.
Mighty
Yes.
Teapot. You sneaky bastard.
Well, he said we're starting in 0 seconds.
Oh. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I think one of the problems that I think with Stronghold, I'm not even sure if this is really a problem, but I think it's very hard to come back in the game. I think if one team has control of the map, so if one team has things pushing out across the map, I think it's almost impossible for the losing team to have any chance of winning, because if there are heroes marching at you, you can't really leave because you'll just lose instantly. So you can't get your own supply to start being offensive on the maps. You just have to defend, and then if you defend, you lose, because if you're in the defensive situation, you probably have less gates than them, and maybe you don't even have any gates. I think you just get wrecked and you can't come back.
I said that same thing like after the first beta test, and I said that same thing, and I also said if you're if you're down a man at the start of the fight or in the middle of the fight, you're screwed, because it's like a much huger, for some reason it seems, disadvantage than in Conquest. But then, like, right after I said both of those things, there was two different people in chat going, "Well, actually, we had a team that came back from this really easily," and "Oh, well, actually, we had a 4v5 and we won." And it's like there's always going to be these problems, but at the same time, there's always going to be people able to pull back from it. But I'm guessing in in a real SPVP tournament match, probably it's going to snowball. Because
yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find, because on Tuesday we'll have me and Bootsford are playing in the North American one, but there'll be a European one and a tournament of Stronghold. So it'll be interesting to see what team compositions come up and how players play, what strategies they use.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to let me know when you're going to play, and I'll come and snipe you. I'm going to come over with my minions, my teapot army, and we're going to snipe you, take you out.
You have a teapot army?
No.
He's making it up right now.
Yeah. Right, everyone in chat, the 17 people, you can come and join the teapot army. We're going to snipe Inks and just kill him. Just over and over again. You'll only match against the teapot army for the entire beta.
And you'll win every time.
I've had horrible luck or playing this weekend, solo queuing. Jeez, it's painful sometimes.
Yeah, I quit after I got my llama. Just like get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
wanna
I
do
mean,
this.
I keep missing these weekends where they're giving you a bonus to actually play PvP. So this weekend I was like, I'm going to PvP, and there was a group of us where I played Friday. I never went to bed. We played all night. We did pretty well. But then, like, yesterday I was solo queuing, and it was absolutely terrible. So, yeah.
You were solo queuing.
Yeah, I was solo queuing.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Apparently, I might be signed up for the tournament, like the NA tournament. So, I'm going to be probably playing with a little someone where he's above this guy right here. And who's the other guys in it?
It's me, you, Matsta, Shin, and Killchain.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And
so I'm gonna get carried.
I invited myself onto Shin and Killchain's team. They were talking on Twitter, and I'm like, "Hey, I'll be on your team. You didn't invite me, but I'll be on your team anyway. How's that sound?"
And they were like, "Oh no, he's been looking at our conversation, so he knows we don't have a full team yet. We can't use that excuse." Crap.
Oh,
that's how I did it too.
I'm here on EU forever alone, and Brazil doesn't care.
Yeah,
He cares not for Stronghold.
No,
Turret engineer is not strong enough.
Me and Boots need to win one game so that we can get a llama. And then...
Is there a llama in it, actually?
Yeah.
It's too late to sign up now, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I need one. I have a story about llamas, but
I think just go.
Share your llama.
Share the llama
Share your
story.
llama story.
should I share the llama story?
I think you should.
When
share
I
the
was a
llama story.
child.
So I got my first mini llama on accident because there was a tournament of legends or something that was going on, and they were giving them away on Twitter. And my guild, D&T, we have an official Twitter account, and it auto retweets everyone in the guild with a Twitter account. So I tweeted something at Guild Wars 2, and that retweeted me, and the auto retweet won a llama. So the guy in charge of that gave me the llama.
Because of the auto retweet.
Then I won one from MightyTeapot's YouTube channel because I made a comment about Colin Johansson that I don't even remember what it was, but it was funny. And so I won a llama from that. And I said, I'm not going to need 2 llamas, I'll give one away. And so I gave one away to a guy in my guild. And then shortly after that, they announced that you can combine llamas in the Mystic Forge to make special llamas, and I was really
Whoa.
pissed off that I gave one away. And so I gave him the code. You can't. The llamas are countdown. But after that, I got into the PvP test season. I got, like, I think the highest I got was like maybe 285 or something, and then I quit playing. And on the last day, I was like 498.
Wow.
Almost out of the top 500, but I got one.
Nice.
And then I contacted support and said that, can I have a llama? And they basically gave me one. So that was really fun.
You contacted support to ask for a
So
llama.
I have two, because I said I put one in my wardrobe and it's stuck and I can't put it in the Mystic Forge. Is there any way to put it in the Mystic Forge? And they said, oh, here's a llama. So now I'm back to 2 official llamas.
That's it. I'm contacting support. I don't have a llama because I never tried to get one. Give me one, please.
Yeah.
I have a llama, but again, it's in my wardrobe. It's stuck in there.
Yeah, they gave me one back. I don't know if they'll. I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about that. They may take it away after this.
They're gonna contact you. Please delete your llama.
Yeah.
I mean, I was considering trying to go for top 500, but then I realized I'm way too lazy. I'm not motivated enough to do it, and I don't play Turret Engie enough. So
It was when Turret Engineer was strong. Like you just had the solo queue on one, and you'd just kind of win games. You'd win like 7 out of 10 games just for free, basically.
Standing on a point.
Yeah, it was, and this is the other thing. There were counter turret engineer builds. So there was like pistol shield turret engineer that countered rifle turret that used the reflect turret trait, but it wasn't that good on its own. You would just use that to go eject the other turret engineer off the point and hold it from him. And then people figured out about Elixir X and how Elixir X was just broken as shit. So people started using that over supply crate. So you could put your turrets on a point, run to mid, and Elixir X in the team fight, kill everybody, and then just run back. And so it was pretty ridiculous. It was pretty bad for a little while.
Well, I'm glad they nerfed turrets.
Yeah, their turret engineers are like a free kill now. Like they just die to lava font immediately, or like any kind of AoE conditions.
Yes.
Easy peasy. All right. I think we should talk about what we're here for, which is the beta event. The beta event.
The beta.
The what? The what event?
The
beater.
demo. The beta demo.
The beater.
The wheat?
The wheat.
Beet?
The beets.
Is that a vegetable?
The beetroot. The beta. The beta.
Oh, beta. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah, I've got to do something first though. I mean, I was watching Inks' stream the other day, and he called me out on talking about the Illuminati so much, and he claimed that I am Illuminati.
It's true.
And, oh no, what the?
You have a graphic, don't you? Oh my god.
That's really good.
Is that motion track?
Yeah.
What the?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I am Illuminati. Confirmed.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh boy.
God. Keep it
funny.
on.
There we go. I am Illuminati 100% confirmed here live on stream. I will remain like this until the end. Till the conclusion, as a mark of the shame. I've been caught out by Inks.
Boy.
He foiled me.
How did?
Okay.
Hold on a second. How did Lego Brick get that as
It's
so
a,
quickly?
it's a default chat emote.
Is it really?
Yeah, de-Illuminati. So yeah. Yeah.
It's funny that that's a default emote.
Oh no, I spelled it wrong. Damn it.
We're gonna have fun with this one.
Is
Too
that
funny.
Is that? Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. No, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Unlike, I don't know how to do emotes.
You just what?
It's not working.
Are you sure you're actually an engineer?
Is it slash D?
No,
Oh,
no. Just
type it.
D. You can also mouse over the thing too, and it'll like tell you, or you can click the little smiley face button.
Oh, is that three? Is that 3 L's?
I don't know.
I think it's just 2, but the I has
You
to
can
be capital
also,
as well.
I think you can.
Yeah, the I is
Oh.
capital.
Oh. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, as a round of applause. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ugh.
Anyway, right. I'm now
So back
confirmed
to the
Illuminati.
beater.
Back to the beta.
Mhm.
Back to the beta.
Back to the beta. So
So I had some trouble getting into it.
yeah, I was
A little
laughing
bit
at
of
you
trouble.
guys. That was really funny.
First of all, I was at work for the first part.
Mm.
Then when I got home, I couldn't get into it until halfway through the second one. And I played that, and then the third one, I fell asleep. And so that was my beta experience. I don't know how did you guys like the beta?
I liked watching it on stream.
Oh.
I don't know. I feel like I didn't miss much by not farming silver waste or dry top. I feel like watching it on stream was probably about the same experience as I would have had if I played it. Kind of like how Assassin's Creed games feel for me. Like I'd rather just watch gameplay than play it myself. But at the same time, I don't know. There's probably some cool stuff I missed out on that I don't know I missed out on. So that's always a thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But you guys, Teapot and Inks, you guys played a lot, didn't you?
Well, I had the same experience you did, Bootspur. There were some for North America anyway. There was a couple of us that hit some snags. ArenaNet eventually worked those out, so thanks to them for getting that to work for the second and third one. So yeah, I got to play the second and third one. I was definitely tired by the end of the third one because it was late, and you know, Central Europe, for example, the UK I guess kind of had it rough as well, but Central Europe had it pretty rough with the times. That they were available.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish it would have been like a 24-hour beta. I mean, there wasn't really 24 hours worth of content there necessarily. I think people would have, you know, stopped. But you know, if they do something like a 24-hour beta, like they did with Stronghold, for example, then it lets people get on whatever time they want to. You work the night shift, no problem. You live in Central Europe, no problem. Australia, you're all good, right? You can then log in whatever time is convenient for you and play. I think the reason that ArenaNet didn't do that, at least with this one, and they did like 3 time slots, was so that they can get their metrics and measure it out, and if there's any problems, they can deal with it while they're in the office. And so like that's my guess as to why they did it that way.
Why do you think they split it up into? Sorry, maybe I phased out there, but why do you think they split it up into 3 2-hour sessions?
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know exactly why 3 2-hour sessions. Probably just to spread out the time zones a bit. But I assume that it was 2-hour sessions so that they could measure things, and then if things are broken or break, they have 2 hours in between to fix, patch, do whatever they needed to do. And I think there was actually a patch.
I'm
one of them.
I think there was. I think they fixed the
something.
Revenant's hammer attack.
Yeah, something.
What was wrong with the Revenant's hammer attack?
It didn't do any damage.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
So no one was able to kill anything with hammer.
Are you sure it wasn't that just we all had Celestial and Dolyax and no one could tell the difference?
That you know, that might be it. So. Those Dolyak runes, like, it's the new player experience. This Illuminati is ridiculous now.
Illumiderpy.
Yeah.
It's not the most reliable. Okay,
No.
Please do continue. Do continue.
I mean, that's why I think that they had it. They had it in times that were convenient for ArenaNet, right? So that was Pacific time, and while they're still in the office, they can fix things, they can monitor things, they can collect the data that they need to collect. You know, as we go along, they'll extend it. They'll make full weekend betas, 24-hour betas, whatever they choose. I would assume there'll be a weekend beta at some point, or several of them for PvE. So it just, yeah, I mean, a lot of people farmed a long time for those portals. And I mean, maybe the portals will be good again for whenever they have another PvE, and that would be.
I think they will be. I mean, you're not going to
It'll
make.
probably be good for them.
I think on the portal it said or at least when they announced the portals, I said that it would be for all upcoming betas.
Yeah, and the pre-order text on the pre-order said if you pre-order it, you get access to all the betas
Yeah.
whenever the pre-order thing
For the
happens.
pre-order.
Needs to hurry. I need to spend
Mhm.
money on that and not
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So
Is that what you're doing right now while waiting for Heart of
buying,
Thorns?
I'm buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards to play Yu-Gi-Oh
That's good.
and saving money to build a computer and pay for college. But
Priorities, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean,
You know.
Heart of Thorns comes
Yu-Gi-Oh
over.
first,
sure,
computer second, college third. Nobody needs college.
Yeah.
But all right, so for the beta, I'll tell you about my impressions. I played Revenant because you have to. Also because there were no specializations in the beta. Why play any other class if there's no specializations? I guess if you just want to stay comfortable while trying out the different events and stuff. But I played Revenant. What do I feel about Revenant? I don't like Hammer. I do not like the Hammer. I don't know why I don't like the Hammer. I just don't like the Hammer. I think that teleporty thing is kind of interesting, but you don't actually teleport. The one that
Yeah.
I'm eventually going to try to do something with that because it looks like it could be interesting. But Hammer in general was not fun. That trait that says you gain 2 might when you go from above 50% energy to below 50% energy. That looks like I could have a lot of fun making a build around that, just like going wunko 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 all around 50% energy. And because I remember while I was playing with it, I stayed around 16 might the whole time, just using skills normally. Besides that, though, I sort of just bypassed all the. I didn't know, like I don't know if some of the events were bugged or just really hard to understand what I was supposed to be doing. I just sort of bypassed it all. Did you guys find any events you like doing in the beta?
Oh, yeah, there were a number of events. I'll let Teapot start, actually, if he wants to talk about the events that he played in the beta.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I just think it's a bit like, Silver Waste and Dry Top Mark II. It's just it's a lot of separate events that all contribute to one overarching thing. Well, multiple overarching things. There's it's the outpost system, isn't it? In each outpost there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do to contribute to the main goal. But I mean, did you guys play the one where the snipers were shooting at the big guy? I didn't really understand what was going. In a lot of them, it was just what is really happening here. I think that's not really a problem. It's just a case of once people you're gonna have to put some effort in to figure out what to do and how they work. And I mean, I suppose that's kind of a bad thing. Maybe you shouldn't have to do that. Maybe it should be immediately apparent what you have to do. But I mean, I'm not totally sure if that's a bad thing. What do you guys think?
I think I always complain about hand holding in MMOs. Every time I see like doing the personal story or doing the living story, and then it says like you have to track down this thing, and then I'm like, okay, I got to track something down, and then there's a big green star exactly where it is.
Yeah.
So I always complain about that. So yeah, I would think that not being ridiculously evident is not a terrible thing.
I think too. There was I've heard quite a few people say that even though they had like 2 hours to play, let's say in a particular session, they felt rushed the whole time. Like, oh, I only have 2 hours. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta run to this event, run to that event. So, I think it just puts people in a certain particular mind where they're not necessarily relaxed and at ease and trying to figure stuff out. They're just like, I need to know how to do this because I need to move on to the next phase, or the event just failed. Why did it fail? I don't even understand. So I think there was a little bit of that going on as well, a little bit of like hysterical confusion or minor hysterical confusion. But I didn't really find the events that difficult to understand. There was one where you had to like pick up eggs and put it into a particular area, and then you had to guard the eggs to try to get that wyvern to spawn. What I liked about the events was, so like there was a lot of escort events, especially at night. And what I liked about the escort events was currently if you do an escort event, which is generally boring, you escort the guy, and if he gets killed, well, then you just res him and you continue on your merry way. The new escort events, when he gets killed, that's it. You just failed the event and go start it over if it respawns right away or not. So I think I like that. You had to support him more. You had to keep the enemies off him. You had to actually pay attention to like what was going on.
I like that too because I remember them saying that some of the new specializations are you're gonna start to have some more interesting support traits, support skills. I think I remember them saying that because also you're gonna need something like that in Stronghold too. So this new new type of escort events will start training people to be able to be better at conquest escorting the NPCs. I think.
Well, and there were enemies too where so there's like this there's a Zelda enemy, the what are they called? Zignuts or something? Dark nuts.
Dark nuts.
Zignuts. I don't know. I'm making names up clearly. The dark nuts from Zelda where they hold like a shield in front. You can't damage them in front. You can only damage them from behind. Josh Foreman actually has like a contest on his YouTube page to win this modeled one. Very cool looking. Regardless of that. So one of the new enemies in the game is a Mordrum who has a shield, and you cannot damage him from the front. You need to flank him or damage him from the side. And it was funny watching players just run straight into his face and swing their hammers and their maces and do nothing. And they just keep doing it because they're not really paying attention to why they're not hurting him or why they're not damaging him. So those fights were pretty interesting. And then they had at least 2 mounted guys that had alternate mount states depending on the break bar mechanic.
That I liked, yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit. It looks pretty fun.
Stop touching your face, Teapot.
A number of the enemies too, like they changed in size depending on what they were. So elites were bigger than veterans and champions were bigger than elites. And this was extremely apparent with the mushroom guys. They're normally like very tiny, but then like an elite is like this big and a champion is like gigantic. He's like a giant freaking mushroom. So
they sort of done that a little bit before too. I mean, you see that around the rest of Guild Wars 2, I think. But do you think they're ever going to start making some champions shiny?
You mean
shiny?
Like Guild Wars 1?
Like Guild Wars 1?
Pokemon?
Like Pokemon, yeah.
You got to collect all the cards, and you get the shiny ones are the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I didn't play Guild Wars 1 much, but you're talking about like I specifically remember trying to get Legendary Defender of Ascalon and grinding for that. And there were these 4 char at the Syrian Cauldron that were like they had like a pink glow and like a green glow and like an orange glow and like something else. That's what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like based on their like profession?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means they're like unique monsters that give you skills if you kill them.
That would be cool.
Well, they said they don't want to do the unique thing because it destroys immersion, haven't they?
There's so many other things in the game that destroy immersion.
I know. I mean, of all the things, named NPCs is just. I mean, to some extent, they already have that. I mean, the world bosses, they're just still the same.
All dungeons.
Yeah. But I think that's the justification why it's always the champion Mordrum troll or whatever, not a named guy, because all the bosses in Guild Wars 1 were named, which is quite interesting.
I wouldn't mind if they brought back some named ones, but they need to drop special loot. They can't drop a freaking blue and a green if he has a special name. He needs to drop like a specific item or a specific armor or
on a rare chance, though.
A special sigil. Yeah, not like every time, not guaranteed. Mm-hmm. But he needs to have a loot table of some sort that's different from others.
They sort of have that now with champions that drop loot, the champion bags, and then in the champion bags you get like a very low chance of a rare exotic, named exotic.
Right.
But it's not quite as cool. Not nearly as cool.
And I don't know if any of you guys played Borderlands 2 at all, or even the first game, but like Borderlands 2 is I like the system where there were like named unique enemies of a particular type, and they all dropped like some of them dropped unique, really good weapons. And if I don't know, I'd like to see something like that in Guild Wars 2. Like if I wanted,
they could even do like runes and sigils.
Yeah.
Like you know, this they introduce a new rune to the game. Well, this maybe a series of new champions have the chance to drop that new rune, or the recipe for the rune, or something like that. You know.
They sort of did that already too, eh? They added a few new runes that are only available through world chests or drops in World versus World. I think there was one. But yeah, if there was unique, actually, the thing is, I can see why they would want to do it something a little bit more spread out, like world chests or drops from World versus World, rather than a specific boss, because then everybody's going to be at that specific boss rather than spread out over a map or over the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably want them more spread out.
I think like champion boxes or bags in general need an update as well. You get them like when they first came out, it was great, right? Everybody really liked them, and now because they've been out long enough, like a year plus, the loot is, you know, not really that special, or it's not as desired as it once was. It's just going to happen with time, but I would like to see like that loot table perhaps updated as well.
Yeah. So did you guys start looking into the masteries? I know what I did for the hour I played. I looked at the masteries, saw that I got 2 mastery points, then tried to figure out how to spend those points, and instead checked a couple of boxes on the mastery table, and then I noticed that a bar started going up, but then my time ran out, and then I fell asleep. So I'm not exactly sure how the mastery system worked. Do you guys have any?
They thought. Go ahead, Teapot.
Well, yeah, I mean, my chat was cyberbullying me about that. It took me about 5 minutes to figure out how it works. I kept pressing things and nothing was happening. I was like, well, how does this work? And my folly was assuming that it would be just like skills, where you select the glider. Wow, you can now do the gliding. But no, you actually have to explore the world and beat events and stuff in order to unlock it. And I kind
like weapon skills.
Yeah, but
like original weapon skills.
Yeah, except longer. It takes longer to do.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think I quite like that actually, because if it was just an instant unlock, I think it would be less flavoursome. You know, you have to go out and experience the jungle to learn how to use your glider, even though you're not doing anything glider related. I mean, you walk up to a point of interest and you think, I'm 10% closer to learning how to use a glider.
Do you think that people will find like the perfect mastery farming spots and then do that?
I think that they'll find the most efficient way to farm events.
Is it just events that get you the experience for masteries?
No, I believe killing stuff gets you a tiny amount of points as well.
Okay.
It's gonna be the Kessex Hills bot train again.
Yeah.
Do the bridge, go to the Centaurs battleground.
I have faith in Chazbot. I think he's gonna ban every of those guys.
I guess masteries look like they're gonna take a while to max regardless. I'm sure somebody will find a way to break the system. There's always somebody who does that right. They find a way to, I don't want to say exploit, but they find a way to gain the system some way, shape, or form. And I think some of the confusion came from in the promos that everybody played, the first beta, the PAX demos and such. ArenaNet was just giving you gliding more or less, and the system worked differently. You put a point in, and then you leveled it up, and then you got gliding, and that happened very quickly in the demos because they wanted you to experience that. But now this new system, it needs a tooltip or something, or it needs a pop-up that says, "Hey, you've now clicked the checkbox. Congrats! Now you're gonna level up this bar, and then you can insert your points."
Yeah, some kind of explanation was warranted, I think.
Just like Teapot, I was clicking around like, "Hey, where can I put my points? My points won't go anywhere. Why does this not work?"
Yeah. Yeah. I know I was disappointed that I couldn't glide. I fell down lots of holes and died quite often. Is below, you know how there's these big cliffs, and then there's like Mordrum vines and some gassy kind of stuff, and you die every time you jump down there? Is there a way to get down there? I never actually made it down there.
Not that we've seen in the beta.
Yeah.
Okay.
I managed to get down quite far, but you get to a certain depth and it just kills you, But it's an interesting kind of half death actually, because you die, but then you fall and then take falling damage and then properly die.
Yeah, so there is a bottom to it. That's what I was wondering, if it was just like empty nothingness. But I guess there's a bottom to it, which makes me wonder what's actually down there.
Undeveloped.
Yeah.
Or is
the
that where
underground
Mordremoth is
system.
going to come out of?
Oh. Well, I
Should
mean,
have had a revive orb.
it's just how I committed suicide after Brazil tricked me into deleting my armor.
You should have done it. You wouldn't have access to a revive orb, eh?
I don't
beta?
think so. I don't think
It doesn't. It doesn't let you anyway because it automatically teleports you out of that area once you're dead.
Okay.
Like it automatically, yeah.
Well, we know there's going to
At
be.
least I'm pretty sure it did.
We know there's going to be layers to the map anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Ogres have layers.
Yeah. Ogres do have layers, just like onions.
Like onion.
So is Mordremoth just a version of Shrek? If they actually put Shrek in the game, and it's
Those little
Mordremoth.
ears.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your thumbnail for this week.
Mordremoth is love. Mordremoth is life.
Oh, that makes me shudder just to think about that. We cannot pollute Guild Wars 2 with such filth.
Mm.
Ugh. Did anyone try the mushrooms one in the second time round? Because I only got one event in because it was really late for me at that point. Did anyone
Jumping up the things?
Yeah.
Or
Did anyone get the
mushrooms?
bouncy mushrooms mastery? Cause...
No.
No?
I saw people do it, but
Yeah, I saw a video of somebody with a bug mushroom that like bounced him crazy the wrong way, and then he popped his. How did he get all of those masteries so fast? Anyway, then he popped his glider and went like 40 miles the wrong way. So I guess there's still bugs with some mushrooms, but looks kind of like those bounce pads from Tequatl.
Sort of, except the mushrooms send you to. Well, no, I guess the bounce pads from Tequatl do the same thing. They send you to a predetermined point. I kind of wish it didn't send you to a predetermined point. It lets you kind of angle yourself, kind of like the crystals.
Yeah.
Jump with the crystals, but
if you completely master the mushrooms bouncing, what kind of things would you get from the masteries in that?
I'd have to go back and look, but one of them was speed. So there was bouncing mushrooms, there were speed mushrooms, there were cleansing mushrooms for conditions. There was a mushroom that reset all the cooldowns on your skills. There was another one that I don't remember now. And those speed mushrooms were all over the zone.
Yeah, I couldn't use them. I tried to eat them, but it wouldn't let me eat them. They look so delicious.
No, you need the mastery. There's
Yeah.
a mastery for that. Yeah.
You could eat them, but it would kill you.
Yeah.
That's why.
So they were all different types of mushrooms. Because
Okay,
you started talking about like cleansing mushrooms and stuff, and I thought that was all. I thought like the bouncy mushrooms were just the only type. I
No.
was like, do you jump and it cleanses you? Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I understand now. I understand.
And they all look different too. So like the speed mushrooms were these long, stalky mushrooms, and the bouncing mushrooms obviously you've seen, right? So
there's no masteries that say something like you bounce higher on the bouncy mushroom, or
there might have been. I'd have to go back
yeah.
and look at the actual
the
mastery.
final one is after much practice and core strength training, you can use massive bouncing mushrooms to fly even further through the air.
Okay, so
There you go.
so there's bouncy mushrooms and then massive bouncy mushrooms.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and the massive bouncy mushrooms, there's probably less of them, and they probably get you to very interesting places. Okay.
Yeah. Which is where they're going to hide all that secret PvE content we were talking about last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
My special. I hope it's not that though. I hope it's not like. I hope you need to have that and then also mastery in airplane flying, glider flying, so that you have to use the one massive bouncing mushroom, gets you up really high, and normally would just let you fall all the way down and die. But with a glider, it lets you glide basically anywhere you want, and then.
I could see it. There was an adventure in the Itzel village, collecting bugs, and you had to use both bouncing mushrooms and gliding to like do it effectively.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I think that's if that makes it a lot more interesting if all the masteries interact with one another. That just it makes it seem less like a linear thing and more like a tree, like the jungle.
Well, and for open world bosses, like the Wyvern, for example, when I talked to them at PAX East, they said that there would be several of these abilities or several of these masteries that would either not only make the boss easier, but sometimes be essential to being successful at that boss.
I'm so distracted by you, Teapot, right now. It's not even funny.
Well, speaking of like those things making the bosses easier, like, do you think that could apply to the Dark Nut type enemy? Like, you can attack him from the front now or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know that well, maybe there is a mastery.
I don't think the masteries like that should make. Oh, actually, no, that's true. Actually, you're probably just about to say that that things do make encounters easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was the Nuwak line, or maybe it was the Itzel, but each line had one thing where it was the Nuwak line was like the Wyvern's wing buffet no longer knocks you back.
Yeah.
The Itzel had one where it's like Mordrum with tough bark, you now ignore that armor or whatever it is. So, like, each of those lines had something where it made an enemy more vulnerable.
Mm. And also with the Wyvern fight, there's the air gusts on the side of the platform. And normally, if you get knocked, if you fall off the platform, you just die. But if you have the correct glider mastery, you'll go up into the air and not fall off and plummet to your demise immediately. So, I mean, it's just like almost like attunements in other MMOs where you have to do certain things in order to do the dungeon, because it's not inconceivable they could make an enemy that would just be more or less impossible without the correct mastery, and you can't do it because what didn't they mention at some point? They referenced at one point that there will be enemies that you can't penetrate their thick bark without a certain mastery. I think that was one of the first things they talked about, and that you'd be completely ineffective unless you have this mastery. So I think I'm not sure if that's just annoying, or if it just gives some extra longevity to it, meaning you actually have to play the game in order to play the game, and not just skip things.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Does 1 point in glider mastery mean that you could just never die of falling damage again? So every team, just before you hit the ground, you just pop your glider and you're fine?
Yeah. I mean, it regenerates fast enough that you can always have a little bit extra by the time. I'm not sure if they're going to change that, though. I'm not sure if that's intended or not. But it starts regenerating as soon as you, deglide. And then immediately, your glider endurance bar or whatever, immediately starts growing again, and then you can just press the spacebar and do a weird disjointed flight and gently, gracefully land upon the ground without a mark on you.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how your experience was with this, but I spent about half of my time just walking around looking for things to do. I found it surprisingly sparse with all the events. It seemed like you really had to walk between things, and there's basically nothing in between the different
Well, I think that
outposts.
might have something to do with us not having these awesome modes of transportation yet. Because I found, it was just walking through things and just past things, trying to get to something interesting, and then... But maybe if you have a glider, it's a lot faster to get from place to place and might be more interesting. But I just found myself walking past things and then not paying attention and falling off a cliff and dying and going back to square one, and then doing the same thing, falling off a cliff and dying, coming back to square one again. And that's probably why I fell asleep before the second beta.
I mean, I spent a lot of time exploring, but there was definitely a feeling of that. I've seen a lot of people say that, ArenaNet has built this nice, beautiful shell with Verdant Brink. Now they just need to fill it with stuff. I think part of the problem is, or part of the perceived problem is that outposts are where most of the events take place. There was a couple events, one or two outside of outposts that I've seen happening, but most of the events take place at the outpost. So, there were like 3 of them, I think, and if you weren't near those, you weren't really seeing that many extra events, unless it was nighttime, and then at nighttime there were events like all over the place, mostly escorts and running supply or defending a point, but there were a lot more events during the night phase.
Are you guys concerned about the variability, like how much the jungle will vary, or do you think it's going to be a little too monotone? The fact that it's all jungle.
I don't know.
So I thought about this. I don't think it's going to be as monotone as people think it's going to be. When Dry Top came out and Silver Wastes, Josh Foreman had, I don't know whether it was a blog post or something he just said on the forums, but he designed, or he helped design, I think, Dry Top. And he was like researching desert, and he was saying there's so many different varieties of desert. You have like the very classic, here's sand, you have rocky deserts, and whatever. All these different kinds of environments that are still considered deserts. And I think jungles kind of apply in the same way. That being said, they also kind of break it up with, if you went south, it was a lot of like ruined architecture, the ruined Colosseum, stuff like that. We know from the Exalted line that there's something called the Auroric Basin. I might be saying that incorrectly, but that
we saw in the trailer, maybe?
Well, that's the Golden City area,
Yeah.
the Exalted and such. So that'll be like an overgrown city kind of area. I would imagine that that's what some of that area will look like. And then you have the underground caves. You have the canopy, which is like broken ships that are on fire. And so I think there's going to be enough variability in there.
Okay. I trust you.
Yeah.
Have we like even gotten to go in the Golden City yet?
No,
No.
I think it's in a different map.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I hope there's just a swamp with a nice ogre hut. That's that's my
Enough with the ogres.
what?
It's never
I like
ogre.
There are no ogres in this.
You should know
jungle.
But there could be ogres though.
There
Ogres do
are
exist in the
ogres
game.
in Fireheart Rise and
Yeah.
Iron Marches and
Yeah, it's all the way over there.
Ogres everywhere.
They're not
Yeah.
It's a
green.
completely
though.
different side of Tyria.
yeah, those are orange ones.
Yeah.
Jungle
Oh.
ogres.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
those are the
jungle. So surely they'd be green to blend in. So there
Right.
trolls.
could be loads
Trolls.
of loads of Shreks appearing in the jungle as Mordramoth's greatest minion. And you know, oh, that's the challenging PvE content right there. You just
Yeah, you go in there and you get Shrek'd.
yeah. You have to just run away from him. You can't fight him, otherwise he gets you. And I
Yeah.
think everyone knows what happens when he gets you.
Yep.
That whimper.
Anyway, I'm no longer concerned. I'm no longer concerned that there's only one map because the mere fact that the map is called the Verdant Brink because
Yeah, it means
you're just on the edge
Yeah.
of what is verdant, and everything else, it's just the brink
Yeah.
of the Verd and
They'll
area.
have the ocean map called the Verdant Drink, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was a point, I think it was a point of interest. It was called Liar's Arch. instead
Oh,
of
yeah.
Lion's
Really?
Arch. Yeah.
I saw that. Someone pinged it in map chat. Someone's talking to me. Sorry.
We'll be here next week, confirmed by Brazil.
Liars are chat. So yeah, I thought that maybe what's his name? The maker of the Black Line Trading Post. Quickly,
Evan
guys.
Ashblade.
Evan Ashblade. I think that like he's setting up an outpost there and calling it Liars Arch because he hates Ellen Keel.
That's like LIAR, not like LYRE, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
LIAR.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
To be fair, come on. Who here? Who voted for who here? Let's see where our
I
allegiances
didn't.
lie.
I didn't vote.
I was on vacation when that was going on.
Oh.
So Brazil and Boots
Yeah.
didn't vote at all.
Okay.
They didn't even
I
participate,
voted for George W. Bush.
much like real politics.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I voted for Evan because he was losing.
The more
Aw, the underdog. That's nice.
The underdog. Yeah.
The under.
The undercat. Yeah.
The problem was, like, Evan's rewards were crap, so that's why he lost. I mean, it had to do with nothing else. Like
But
cheaper
in the
black
end, what did
lion
Ellen
keys.
really get for us? She
She
got
got
us.
reduced waypoints for.
But how much was it?
Yeah,
How much did it
2
get
weeks.
reduced? I didn't even notice the
She
reduced
gets
waypoint.
to res us in my trends fractal now.
Oh yeah. Do you think it would have been Evan Ashblade if
In the fractal.
in the fractal resing?
In the Abaddon
don't know.
fractal. He's there
I'll
trying to
save you.
sell Abaddon
Scarlet
something.
would have been in the Abaddon fractal.
Oh,
Of course you would have. Just as a hologram, though.
time travel. She released him. That she's responsible for all of Nightfall, and then conspired with Cormier. Then she defected to our side and just said, "Cormier, right? Okay, we're gonna set this
She
up
is
so you."
Cormier.
Oh my god, it's confirmed. It's 100% confirmed.
Your Illuminati just
Yeah.
spazzed.
Just back in circles.
Is at the perfect time. That's confirmed. Scarlet equals Cormier.
Mhm.
Yep.
There we go.
Your Illuminati is looking more and more like a dunce cap.
Oh, oh, that'll do. That'll do. I can just swat it and see what happens.
I liked it when it was just as one of your eyes.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, now it's your nostril. It's your nostril.
Are you kidding?
It's a big nostril, yeah.
Oh.
Cool green stuff coming out of it.
so unpredictable. What were we even talking about? I've just forgotten because of all this Illuminati.
Liars
We're
are.
sort of talking about the
Evan's
beta.
setting up an outpost.
This whole episode is really just looking at your Illuminati face the entire time.
What do you guys think about Fortune's Veil?
I think it's a shame that we may never see it.
What's
Yeah.
is that a jumping puzzle?
Oh no, no!
What's
Fortune's Veil, Sunday night or Saturday, Monday morning, or one of those days. WP put out a video where he and that shaman had found the original Fortune's Veil,
Oh, okay.
which was
that's
Fortune's Veil was like found in the DAT files a long time ago, just a map of it.
the thing behind Divinity's Reach.
No,
Or is
no,
this
no,
a
not that
different
one.
thing?
This
It
is a
was-
different.
No, this was
Okay.
like I don't know if it was a worldview world map or something like that, but it
Okay.
was
It looks like it could have been
Sort of,
a different type of worldview world. It would I doubt that it would have been incorporated into actual worldview
Right.
world play, but it might have been a separate game mode that uses worldview world, or maybe even GVG, who knows? But it was like a giant map that never made it to the end game. And I assume because what they were mining was, I assume it's because it was a giant escort quest. That's why it never made it into the real game. So,
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you the overall thing was it was a giant escort quest, but it had a lot of interesting things that seemed like it was going on in the map. Clearly, there were going to be a variety of problems with it as well, but I don't know. It looked really cool to me. It's a shame that we may never see that.
yeah, but I think that I mean, they're not going to leave all those assets alone. They're probably going to take
Sure.
parts of the maps, put them where it might be interesting. Maybe use some of it for fractals or for like some of the maps were pretty beautiful. So I can't really tell for sure because they didn't have any of the textures, but just based off of the collision data, it looked really interesting. But anyway, it's a shame. But it's really obviously you can see from that, and I'm sure there's tons of other maps that are just failed game modes, or not failed necessarily, but game modes that aren't good enough to put in the game to divide the player base. But at least now we know that they were definitely trying a lot of different things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's curious. It makes you think how many other maps or game modes or things like this that we just don't even know about.
Probably tons.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just maybe all the expansions are already in the game. It's just the ultimate DLC game. It was all in there from launch this entire time. And that
Sure.
shaman will slowly uncover it. He'll swing his pickaxe of data mining, and eventually it'll turn out Heart of Thorns was in game from the beginning.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of the maps. Well, I'm sure there are probably not as many, but half of the maps we have currently in game, there's probably that many other maps that are not released. And whether it's because they're unfinished or whether it's because they're waiting to bring it out slowly when they have a lack of content for other things, it's probably there. They have things ready to put out if they need to, but they're just not doing it yet because, they have a schedule.
Mm.
And I'm probably wrong, but I see it as a possibility that they have a lot of things that they're sitting on that maybe is just not quite there, or is just on a back burner until they have the right time to bring it out.
Yeah, I think that's probably an accurate statement, that they're just waiting for the opportune moment, or maybe they like the concept of the map, but they don't like the map itself, or something like that. So the mechanics behind it they like, but the map didn't turn out quite how they wanted, or it's not up to what they consider to be their standard. So they're gonna leave it to boil, leave it to simmer. But when the time is right,
I mean, we can only
release it.
speculate, but I think Fortune's Veil wasn't really about a problem with the map. I think it was a problem with the general game mode itself, being this giant escort quest, and
Yeah,
or like
that's what
a
I think.
racing escort quest. You can escort the guy faster,
But
or
I think it was
whatever.
actually, I think it was, the way I understood it, it was two teams that were racing,
Right,
and
and
then
one
one team that
defending.
was defending. And I think, just based on the way the map looked, I think it was probably weighted way too well towards the defending team.
Hmm.
So unless their respawn rates were really slow or something, I think that probably they found while testing it that nobody ever made it to the end because it was such a long escort that
It was a
that
big. It looked like it was a big map.
yeah, it's probably nobody ever would ever be able to make it to the end if there was a team that was defending it well enough. Because there's not enough ways, I think, to defend an NPC against sustained pressure, you know?
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Should
Yeah.
we move on and talk about some what we think is going to happen with the challenging PvE content? Because Colin, he was I think it's probably one of the
laid
most
the smackdown.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. Would you guys say that was probably one of the most ambiguous forum posts of all time with what he actually said? Because I saw on Reddit, people were going, "Oh wow, this is confirmed that we're getting dungeons and raids or something," and
That
then
was half troll, I think.
yeah, and then I read the post, and it's kind of, wow, you didn't really say anything, did you? I don't even know. Yeah, go ahead.
He just confirmed that there is going to be this challenging content. It's still something that they haven't talked about. So anything you've seen in the game or anything you think there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, there's not going to be any challenging group content," or the Wyvern is the challenging group content. What we're seeing, we've already seen it. He was just confirming that, no, this is not, anything to do with that, and
Yeah.
it won't be open world, as far as we know.
No, he didn't say it won't be open world. It's not gonna be the open world enough, basically. So it's not the open world you've seen in HOT yet. So it means not Wyvern, not these events. But that doesn't mean it's not gonna be open world, I don't think. Or was it? I gotta reread that post. Hold on a second. Where is that post?
I think I read it, but I don't think I remember what it said.
I think
Just that it was
I
like-
think we've already said what it was. I think he just said it isn't what you've seen so far.
Yeah.
Rather than it's not going to be, none of it's going to be open world. Because I don't think I'd be against it, some of it being open world. Because I mean, if you look at Tequatl and the Triple Trouble Worm, those aren't bad, are they? I mean, once you know how to do it and you've got an organized group, they're kind of, well, this is kind of trivial, and then people just start speedrunning them for fun, see how fast they can do them. But there's nothing really wrong with that, because that's going to happen with anything, really. I mean, no matter how
Every
hard...
raid ever.
Yeah, exactly. And no matter how hard they make it, or how unforgiving they make it, you just... the people like Brazil... They always find the best way to do it, and then they're just doing it blindfolded, no armor, no weapons, just dodge rolls, stuff like that.
Terrible.
And then
Kill you with dodge rolls.
yeah,
Just mocking you.
and so
As a designer.
hundreds of YouTube videos were made and posted to Reddit,
Yeah.
as everyone beats it in more ridiculous and more ridiculous ways.
Yeah, Brazil, I hope you know that you are hurting the developers when you do this. You're like taking their baby and then punting it across the street,
Well, I'm
and
actually
you
an
say, "Hey, look how
atheist,
fast I could punt this across the street."
so I eat babies. So that's just my goal. Just so you know that. But
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, eating babies okay, but punting them across the street,
That's crossing the line.
it's playing with your food. It's not good.
yeah, that's something that dirty British people do.
Oh. Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. I'll have you know, I serve only the most gourmet babies here in the UK.
Wait a second, Brazil, just to be sure, you're talking about that article, right?
What's up? Which article?
Oh, no? Okay, never mind. There's a really good article a long, long time ago that was talking about eating babies, as it was a satirical article on like a
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It was
All
a
right.
book, wasn't it?
No, it was it was an article, I think, put in the newspaper.
Some hipster wrote it on his blog.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost positive there was like a 16th century book about something like that.
It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. It would surprise me
A
if there
Modest
was
Proposal, Jonathan Swift.
Oh.
There you go. That's what I'm thinking of. What is it? Is
Essay,
it
a
a book or it's
satirical
an essay?
essay.
Okay, an essay. That's
Depends
what I
how
was
many
thinking of.
depends how many pages it is. To define it as a book or not, I guess. It's actually pretty short, so no, I don't think. It's a
Yeah,
book.
yeah. Well, there you go. It's an essay about eating babies.
Yeah, because of taxing. It was about taxing.
Yeah.
Soylent Green is people.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And
What a
ogres
plot
are
twist.
green too.
Yeah.
This
Ogres
this
must be
podcast took
people.
an odd
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
Ogres are people too, guys. Because Soylent Green is people. Ogres are green. Therefore, ogres are people.
Hmm So we shouldn't kill them in Guild Wars 2 when they're
No.
no.
They're people too. So
Just
they're
great
not
friends.
non-player characters because they are.
Yeah,
people.
they have pet whistles that are useful for speed killing Lupicus too.
There you go.
So
You just want to get
Many
loads
other
of those.
bosses.
Such an exploit. Such an exploit of Brazil.
It would be so much better if the ogre pet whistle summons an ogre that's a pet of yours. Instead of
That will be good. And then
Should we get-
and then that
Oh.
ogre has another whistle that summons the pet.
yes.
we've gone too far. We're gonna lose everyone on the stream now.
Everyone's leaving.
I'm surprised they're still here.
No, come on. Once again, this is quality non-content.
Oh boy.
I
What
think
do we
Most
think-
sidetracked episode ever.
Can I just a random thought off the top of my head? New Mystic Forge recipes and stuff in the expansion.
Mm,
Do you think that'll happen?
yes.
Yeah.
Do you think
hope
that
so.
they'll
I
reveal
think
all
by
the
definition,
ones?
yes, because we're getting new legendaries.
Okay.
Hmm.
What if they use the same stuff?
They are going to use a lot of the same stuff, but there's
Yeah.
going
The
to be
same
different.
gifts. You
Yeah,
think that'll
all the
happen?
same base gifts, but I think that the gift of the specific
Like the
weapon-
shark statues or like the
Yeah.
You don't think that they'll just reuse that stuff?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
Well, I think they
Okay.
actually have a little bit of wiggle room because if they're going to make legendary armors and trinkets, surely they could go off a different way there. Because right now we've got legendary weapons, so if they bring in new legendary weapons, then they can use the same recipes, the same template for the recipes that they have now. But say if they brought in armors, maybe they could do something a little bit different. And then if they're going to bring in legendary trinkets, what would they do with that? How would they have it?
Well, I think all legendary weapons and armor and everything. I think the definition of the legendary. I mean, legendary trinkets for sure. How are they gonna? Actually, they have those jewel add-ons that change the
Yeah.
color of the guy, so they could do
Yeah.
that, give a little effect around you or something. But more like for sure, what all the legendary items are gonna have is the ability to switch your stats at any time to go between
Yeah.
Berserker and whatever.
Yeah.
That is convenient, definitely,
It's
but
so good.
very expensive though.
It's gonna be expensive, yeah. Although for sure, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna be able to buy it in the first day.
Yeah,
Because
Oh, yeah.
somebody is
obviously.
sitting out there with
Probably me.
100,000 gold.
It's
I'll
the,
probably
Probably
have
Brazil.
it. Yeah.
yeah.
How much gold do you have, Brazil?
Right now I have like 17, I think.
Gold total?
Hmm.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I bought Balthazar weapons and stuff last night.
Uh,
So he's pretty much there. He pretty much has, 17 gold. It's almost enough for a legendary.
I'm gonna be upset if there's anything cooler than like Twilight and Predator. I don't care about Axis because I hate Frostfang and I regret making it, but I really like Twilight and Predator.
I don't
But-
think. No, when I talked to Colin about it, he said their priority was going to be getting legendary for the weapons that are silly. So getting more.
Oh, like the
yeah.
Minstrel.
So like get a replacement for the minstrel that's
wait.
not quite as ridiculous. Get a
Okay.
replacement for the pistol that's not quite as ridiculous. For the mace as well. I think that's their priority at first. So they're not gonna. Apparently, they're not gonna, or at least they haven't developed yet. But at the time
Yeah.
they had it, they didn't have. At launch, I don't think they're releasing a whole set of new legendary weapons. It's just going to be certain ones, and those will include more serious versions of the crappy legendaries.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you're going to see a full set of legendaries number 2, whatever you want to call them. But it'll start with, a select few that are replacing the silly weapons, unicorn bows and clown pistols and what have you.
Mm-hmm. But does that mean that Great Sword's not going to get an update also because they already have 3 legendary?
I would be okay with that, but
I mean, I think they will. I think there will be a great sword eventually. Just
Silly.
probably
It's got to
not
be a
at
silly
launch.
one.
I want a lime green greatsword so I can like make a lime green warrior. But that's just me.
Isn't there like a, not to
Super
Quaddle, but
adventure
probably
box.
one of the Ascended ones could do that?
Yeah, but I have
They're
Twilight
darker.
and
Like
like I don't know.
Just
he's not
reskin
giving up a legendary for another skin.
reskin
It's
it.
legendary as well.
reskin it to Tribal.
Why?
No. I don't know about that.
Why would you
Tribal
do that?
Greatsword. Hold on, I'll find that.
I got one of those things. This is a story. So there was a time where I thought it would be a good idea to Mystic Forge a Destroyer Greatsword, a Corrupted Greatsword, and a Greatsaw Greatsword that was applied to a thing at the same time. And I got a ceremonial sword or a tribal sword back out of it, and I salvaged it, and I gave away the ectoplasms and map chat. So,
And then you uninstalled.
no, I kept playing, but yeah, I kind of wish even though I hated the Great Saw, I wish I still had it, just because of how expensive it is. I bought it for like 40 gold, but oh well,
Oh wow.
Mm,
And now it's worth how much?
like 3,000, I think.
3,000 gold.
The shield is worth a lot, like 3,000 or 4,000 too, I think.
Oh my god. Why?
That no one has them, and I don't know. It's like old Yu-Gi-Oh cards that no one has. Like,
Even your Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
where is it at? Like my starter deck, Kaiba, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Nice. My friend just sold all his Magic cards for like a large amount of money.
Did he sell all 4 of his foil Jaces and his Alpha Black Lotus?
I don't think he didn't play that much when those new cards were out.
Oh.
So I think he only had the old stuff. No Black Lotuses though. Just some dual lands. Yeah.
I don't even know what they go for anymore, but years ago they were $20 a piece or more. I'm sure they're way more now.
Mm-hmm. The what was it? Not Scrubland. What am I thinking of? Bayou. He had 4 Bayou, and they each were $150.
Jeez,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And apparently he bought a tabernacle of something for $80, and he sold it for 800.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
He says the best
Yeah.
investment of his life.
Tabernacle was Legends, I think. Either Legends or Antiquities, one of the two.
Yeah. I forget.
So
Legends,
really
maybe?
old.
Yeah.
Really old in terms of Magic the Gathering cards.
that's a solid
Mhm.
investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that should be a new banking opportunity? The interest you get is that you buy cards. You
No.
buy cards as an investment to the bank goes off and spends your money, and then you
You
can
have to be
sell the
really
cards.
lucky, I think. Like, Magic is in this weird thing where for some reason people still play it, and and for that reason alone, people still buy these cards. But in the real world, there's no, don't invest in Magic cards. Don't do it. It's a bad idea, especially now.
If you're into that scene and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So what were we talking about again? Guild Wars 2? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about ogres actually.
Yeah.
But
Do you want to take questions from the audience?
Yeah, we-
and then
we
play
could-
a game of PvP.
we can
Oh,
do questions.
PvP. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, if anyone has any questions,
Exclamation
spew them.
point question and
Yeah.
then say it.
I think Rex may have sabotaged me. Actually, I think he may have.
What did he do?
Rex may have typed exclamation mark KPM to troll me, because that.
Well, don't you just said that, so now people are gonna.
What does that do?
I think I don't know though, but yeah, if you have questions, type exclamation mark question followed by your question.
What do you call a Silvari that cuts down trees? A
murderer?
Yeah, okay, that worked. Good. I have not been trolled. It still works.
Okay.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be like us killing an ape or something? So would it? Does that count as murder?
yeah.
You think?
Or you'd probably get in trouble for it. Also, why would you do that?
I don't know. Murdering's not nice.
Here we go. KPM. What is KPM?
Let's ask a question. What is KPM?
Those are.
Is Bifrost a silly legendary?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
Inks
so.
doesn't think
Bifrost-
so.
You
I
think?
think
Hey, Six, what's up? You think Bifrost is a silly legendary?
Yeah.
I think that yeah, no. I think it's not supposed to be silly, but I think the fact
I
that
don't
it's
think so.
rainbows it makes it a little bit silly. But Bifrost, I mean, how are you gonna make a Bifrost without it being rainbows?
Well, it would be a different
It's the Rainbow
staff
Bridge.
altogether.
That's the Bifrost.
Yeah, I don't think
Right,
it's
yeah.
silly because it does have it's attached to something. You know the Bifrost Bridge, so it has it's the only one that's allowed to have rainbows and not be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Question: What is KPM
Kappa per minute.
from Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh,
Brazil.
Kappa for a minute.
Brazil is not from Brazil.
No, I'm not. I am from Texas.
Is hoping for the Exalted as a playable race too much? Yes.
I think so.
Yes. It really.
The short answers.
Absolutely. Because first of all, they're like disjointed, right? They're floating and
Yeah.
disjointed. So
Mm.
how are you going to make armor for that? Second of all, there's no way we're not getting Tengu first. Tengu is first.
Yeah, no, we have to
I
get
don't-
other races
I don't
before
know.
you're.
I don't think we're gonna get Tengu.
We better
No.
fucking get Tengu.
I
I
don't
don't
think
we're
so.
gonna get Tengu.
No.
Come on.
They
Yeah.
have
What race are you gonna get
little-
over Tengu?
They have little crow legs. I think we could probably get ogres. Honestly, that's
You're
not a
kidding.
that's not a
They're not
troll.
They're
That's not a
humanoid.
troll
They
either.
are
I think
humanoids.
I think that's they're
You're
humanoid.
right. It's an ogre. It's not a troll.
Yeah, they're humanoid.
Yeah.
They do stuff and
Uh, it's going to be Tengu first, for sure. They have a friggin' city, okay? They have a city.
so do the ogres. They
No, they
have
don't.
strongholds.
They
and
have
Yeah.
a
stones.
village or
They have
something.
outposts.
Okay.
They live in dirty caves.
Yeah. that's
Dirty
right,
ogre
Brazil.
caves.
They live in tents though, don't they? Think you're just racist. You're bigoted against ogres.
I am.
You've got some serious
Ogre
problems
racist.
there. Let's see.
Um,
Shrek was a
what-
disappointment.
Are your thoughts about Abjurd dominating the NA scene, making it less interesting to watch due to it not being competitive?
I don't really care.
I mean, they're a good team. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to form a team that's better than them.
Yeah, I think it's good that there's somebody that's that good to be actually able to match up against EU. The fact of the matter is that we need to have more NA teams that are as good as Abjurd. We don't want to get Abjurd less good. We want to get other NA
Yeah.
teams that are as good as Abjurd or better. It's not. It's sad that it doesn't. It makes the NEC not interesting, but I mean,
Yeah.
you need to be able to be competitive against Abjurd if you want to make the scene interesting in the first place.
A team will come along, or they'll split up, or something.
Yeah.
I hope they don't. I don't want those guys to split up or anything like that. They're obviously a good team, but
yeah, we don't. I think to make any scene more interesting than it is, you don't want to make the teams in it worse, because that's just you want everybody to be better. So I'm happy Abjurd is so good. We just need more teams like them. Question: who is your daddy and what does he do?
Do we have to all collectively answer that? You know, do we have?
Yeah.
We're not all from the same father though, so it doesn't work.
We're from the Allfather.
But I mean, we're not related.
Odin.
Well, my dad's actually a movie star. If
Oh,
I
yeah?
can, yeah, he was in the Shrek movies.
you may have heard of them.
Yeah, he played the big green guy.
Okay.
Jeez.
I think that covers that one.
That was too good. I'm sorry. That was pretty good.
What else do we got? Aren't there only two silly ones? Mace, pistol. No, there's also the minstrel and the
Short bow. Is
short bow.
considered
Oh,
silly.
yeah, the
I
unicorn.
mean, it shoots unicorns and it leaves unicorn footprints.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's four in
Shoes.
total.
I mean, it might be amazing that it actually shoots unicorns, but it's considered silly.
Question: what would be the coolest weapon mechanic Thief Spec could get?
Sniper.
I
Come on.
mentioned this before.
Not what you think it's going to be, but what do you think the coolest would be?
Yeah. Well,
What?
if they have mace pistol and they can put the mace into the pistol and overcharge it, shoot it out.
Yes!
That would be
Remember
awesome.
that.
That would be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
It
it
knocks
knocks you
down
back just like the
everything.
rifle.
Yeah, does a
Yeah.
knockback for everything in its path.
Okay, I agree to that. That's the best.
I don't know. I think some kind of highwayman will be pretty good. They get a horse. The mechanic is they get a horse to ride on,
Mounts.
and they get you.
Because they're introducing mounts into HOT already with the
It's in the game. The code
Yeah,
is in
you
the
didn't
game.
see all of those disclaimers.
Everywhere. This is not available for players. This does not mean we're working on mounts for players.
Just for thieves.
Yeah. And what's next? Capes. We haven't seen any capes in game yet, so that's not confirmed.
Oh, I hope so. Capes.
The
I want a
technology
cape.
isn't there yet.
They need to fix Char.
Yeah.
Or think of an alternative.
Question: if HOT removed all races and replaced them with ogres, how happy would Brazil be on a scale from 1 to 10?
I'd be okay with that.
I could
Okay with that.
actually-
So that's like a 4?
I could actually see his ogre wearing the bunny ears and
Yeah, and I have the pointy green ears too.
yeah.
It'd be awesome. And I'd put on my bioluminescent green reactor, and it'd be even greener.
All right, question. Did the events in the beta feel like an improvement or change compared to old events? Or were they just reskins?
I wouldn't say they were reskins, but I wouldn't say that they were a significant improvement. I don't think, in my opinion. I mean, the same fundamental mechanics were applying in. You kill things, you defend guys, and I don't know. I suppose the only different thing is that it was more like separate events contributing to the overarching event. So, I mean, you'd have different parties in different places doing different things, and this all contributes to the main event, but not just like the Silver Waste. So in the Silver Waste, you fill up your bar by, get tiers of favor or whatever by beating off things. Beating off waves of enemies.
Get a lot of favor for doing that.
You get bonus points for that.
Bone is something.
Yeah. And then you get a reward, but with these it was slightly different. I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'm not even sure what I'm talking about anymore. Inks, help me out here.
I'm not sure what you're talking about either.
I mean, there were a lot of events that were still similar to events we've already seen, and that's just going to be a thing, right? There's going to be defend points and stuff like that. But some of the events were also slightly evolved as well. So you had an escort quest, but if the escort guy dies, then it's just a failure. It's not a, I can res them and we'll just keep going. There was an event where you had to use sniper rifles to complete the event properly and stuff. So,
As a thief.
as a thief, yeah, with a mace in the barrel.
Oh man, mace barrel sniper rifles?
Mace
God.
shot.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. When I didn't play much of the beta, but when I did play the beta, I sort of, I don't know why I did this, but I just avoided the events and tried to explore. And so I can't answer that question really.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I did as well at first. The first thing I did was like explore the map, just so I could see the map, see everything. And then I went back in like the second one that Boots fell asleep for, and I did events then. I think a lot of people were kind of going to sleep and logging off then, though, so the map was a lot less populated as well.
Yeah. Question, what do you think about Drunken Master as a warrior spec? I think it's a great idea. And I think that they should dual wheel focuses. And they should both be, what's it called?
Isn't it? Ambrosia?
Ambrosia, yeah.
Yeah.
Double Ambrosia, Drunken Master. One Ambrosia and one Kugo Fugo, or whatever it's called. There's two different mug focuses.
And there are bottles too. There's like
Kungaloosh.
courage and
Yeah.
and there's a mace and a focus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what they're called.
I think one Ambrosia in one hand and then Adam in the other would be the best.
Yeah.
So you got you're drunk and you're beating somebody to death with their own skull, and they're gonna be going, how is this even humanly possible? And that's my 2 cents. Okay, next question.
Okay.
I might be pronouncing this wrong, but RE6S asks, what is the best game in the world and why is it Guild Wars 2?
What?
Well,
That's not what the question was, but
Oh, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, that's all.
Is the...
Next question.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get that Thief 2, Thief Ill? Thief 2 will
Thieful.
get...
Are they trying to say thieful?
Thief will get 3 new skins for the daggers and use it as a range weapon like shurikens.
I think it...
Maybe.
Well, they're not going to
Not
bring
as
in...
is it going to be a new weapon?
Yeah, there's
that'd
not going to be new...
interesting.
I don't think there's going to be new
Well,
weapon types.
No,
Not
but it's
yet,
possible
anyway.
that they might have a new skill that throws shurikens as a utility skill, possibly.
Sure.
But no, probably no new weapon skins for that.
Not right now, anyway.
Yeah. Question. Everyone has been speculating for the remaining specializations that have been revealed, but nobody seems to care about the Revenant one. Well, because, anyway. What do you think it'll be? I think it'll be a new legend.
Huh?
I mean, at the
is that
very
it, though?
least... Yeah, so at the very least, it'll be a new legend. The question is, what other mechanic changes or what other mechanic is added to it? Because that's how specializations have kind of been going.
I think the reason nobody is speculating on it yet is because nobody's seen the other 3...
Nobody cares about it.
No, because nobody's seen the other 2 trait lines out of the first 5 trait lines, so nobody
Yeah.
knows what the full range of this build is yet. So they can't speculate on what's going to be added to something that we don't even know the full range of this build yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah,
Question.
Well, it's an incomplete class. We don't know enough.
Yeah, there's no reason to speculate just yet on it anyway. In Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3,
You have a mode called Survival.
Would it be viable in Guild Wars 2 to have this mode?
Yes.
Where you defend against zombies and stuff. That's
Yeah.
the Call of Duty. I think that'd actually be really cool.
That would
Yeah.
be good. They had that in Guild Wars 1, actually.
Yeah, the challenge missions were similar to that.
Yeah, they had the
sometimes
one
anyway.
in the Luxon area
where you have to run around and capture things, right? Is
yeah,
that what
exactly.
Yeah.
Or no. There's a Luxon area where there was waves and waves of things that you had to defend from. It was like on the Jade Sea.
We've actually seen that during the original Vote for Evan or Vote for Keel. There was that Evan event, PvE content, but there was that Evan event where you had to defend against like hordes of guys coming in.
There's a
They got-
guild mission too.
Yeah, there's a guild mission as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
How stupid?
RE6X.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, no, go ahead.
Okay.
I was
How
just gonna say-
stupid? How stupid do you think Char will look with the glider?
I saw
In
that
HOT.
question.
Very stupid.
Very stupid.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty bad.
However,
You
it's going to
think
be
so?
great for Mr. Fluffy Bottom because
They might.
he likes looking stupid.
It wouldn't look too bad as long as they don't glide hunched over. If they just glide like apes or something, I
I
don't
think
know.
it's just going to be like hanging like this.
That would be that would be terrible then. But if they stretch them out or something, I don't know. We'll see.
What elite spec would you like to see for flavor?
Do we have a
what?
class called Flavor?
Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav, yeah. We already have the elite spec for Flavor Flav. The Chronomancer.
The Chronomancer.
Oh,
Oh
giant
yeah,
clock.
yeah.
I need a giant clock necklace amulet.
Yeah,
Actually,
that-
honestly, I would say for flavor Chronomancer. I'm happy about that. It's
Yeah.
good enough.
We've got enough flavor. Any more will be over seasoning.
Okay, but
just-
maybe we could go through each class and see which would be the best for flavor. What kind of
Okay.
spec would be good for flavor? So let's say if we're following what's on the website, the next one would be Ranger.
Druid.
I think that's
Druid.
quite
Okay.
flavoursome.
Oh.
I think that is
Yeah,
quite
there you go.
flavoursome, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
And then next after that, maybe Warrior? What would that be for flavor?
I'm expecting
flavor.
it to be very warrior similar, but like a commander or something. Something that like focuses on giving orders and pointing around.
I was gonna
Like
say the
tactic?
one
Yeah.
that Bog Otter hates is Tactician. He hates that.
But
name.
there's already a tactics line.
Yeah, I know.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know about that. I still say dirty fighting would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be
I think that would be good in terms of delicious flavour.
Yeah, get tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tricks. I
Yeah.
think that would be good, actually.
And then maybe he'd
trick
get a
warrior.
dagger as his weapon.
Yeah.
cool. Pistol.
Pistol.
Or a pistol. It could be a pistol. It could be a pistol.
It could be a pistol that you can fire daggers out of.
Yeah, the shuriken.
Oh my gosh.
You can shoot your mace out of it too.
That's the new thing that we haven't heard about is weapon combos. So
Yeah.
you can put a rifle on your
Oh my
greatsword,
God.
and you can have a rifle sword,
A Hextech gunblade.
gunblade.
Ah.
If a dirty
Gunblade
fighter
confirmed.
warrior, as their specialization, oh my god, thieves would be so pissed off. If as their specialization, the different, like just like a thief, the combinations would get the third skill changed to something else.
That'd be cool.
That would be amazing, first of all, and second of all, so much better than thief because you have so many more combinations of a warrior. It'd be amazing. It's not gonna happen. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Next after that, any other classes?
Engineer?
Engineer,
The
flavor.
hammer thing.
Yeah, but what would that be?
Repairman.
What was it?
Man.
Wouldn't
Yes.
What are we saying? Like
Just
Forge Master?
repairman. Just that's it.
I'm in repairman. Yeah, I like
And
that.
then they could make like a mailman or a milkman outfit, and he could wear that.
Is it? Oh, yeah. All the hammer skills they heal instead of doing damage, so you have to hit your friends with a hammer and it heals them, it repairs them.
Kill them with
Construction
love.
worker.
No, I don't know.
I'm in.
Would it be something like Forge Master, something like that?
Maybe.
Probably.
I was really leaning towards them not naming things out of stuff that's already found in the game, but like looking back through Necromancer, like half of the traits and shit have to do with the Reaper already, and I was
Yeah.
thinking they're like forgeman runes and like stuff like that, but I don't think they really care. We'll probably just call it something. I don't know.
Call it something.
Is there what?
We Elementalist, but that's already been revealed.
Tempest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think that means?
I don't know.
Well, doesn't it seem to be like a whirling, spinning lunatic in close combat?
Yeah.
Oh, like a dervish.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe.
With magic.
Yeah.
With stances.
Dervishy. Sword dancer.
But I mean, they kind of already, Elementalists kind of already have stances though, a little bit. Attunements are a bit like that, don't you think? The mechanic will be quite similar.
Yeah,
to that.
but the way stances work in Guild Wars 2 right now, it's just sort of a skill that's insta-cast and gives you stability or something. So stances aren't very interesting as it is right now in Guild Wars 2.
They're going to whirl their blade in front of them and reflect projectiles. They're going to give mages a reflect.
They already have. No, they don't.
And then you can remove guardians from your party because you won't need them anymore. You can just run all mages or all Ellies and one warrior for flank strength.
You like that.
That's
you
the new
like
meta.
seeing lots of the same character.
That's right. You just 5 Ellies is the new meta. You don't need any other classes.
I'd be okay with that.
Game over.
I'd be mad.
Yeah, they just give shortbow. They give shortbow to elementalists, and it's just icebow skills. That's all it is. Not even changing.
No,
anything.
they can't do shortbow though, because the difference between Guardian, who now is going to have all of his spirit weapons, like he's able to wield all of his spirit weapons. The thing is, the Elementalist is not able to use any of his conjure weapons, so he won't be getting any of his conjure weapons. Instead, he'll get something else like a sword. Question.
Double war.
What do you think will happen to racial skills? Will they be removed and put into specializations or something else?
I'd like to see a specialization for bear form. Like, that'd be really cool. But
yeah.
I mean, I hope they don't remove them just because I'm not a fan of removing things necessarily. How would they reincorporate it? I mean, into like a mastery line, a racial mastery line or something? I don't know.
Well, we've seen already that, well, probably Revenant's not going to really have access to racial skills unless something is different. Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody gets to keep racial skills except Revenant?
Revenant is so confusing to me, the utility skills, honestly.
It's not finished, I don't know.
It's not finished, I know, but that's the thing, because I've had a lot of arguments about it already, because it's really interesting. Because Revenant, you could think of it two ways. Number one is they'll only have access to those 3 utility skills for each legend, or they'll have access to a certain amount of utility skills, but those utility skills act differently for each legend. I hope it's the second one, because that would mean that you'll have more utility skills and they'll be able to chain, and you'll have a lot more customization. And when I was playing the Revenant in the beta, when I was switching skills, like because you have the 3 skills, and then when I switched a skill from like the first position to the second position, it would also switch for the other legend the same way. So from that, it makes me think that the utility skills do change for the legends. Like, it's not that each legend has 3 utility skills, it's that there are utility skills that change depending on your legend.
I thought it was already like that.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, so if it is just utility skills that change depending on your legend, rather than each legend having 3 utility skills only, then that would mean that it is possible that we will be getting a range of utility skills to choose from, possibly much less than any other character, but you might get a lot more customizability than it seems like you're getting right now, I think. You know what I mean?
I do.
Nobody? Okay.
Well, yeah, and they also said with the specializations that they would be giving, I think that they said they'd be giving the elite specializations new utility skills, right?
Yeah, but when I thought, oh, that means that obviously they're going to have more than just their 3 for each legend.
Yeah.
But if you think of it the way that the new specialization is going to give you an entirely new legend, then yeah, in that case, it sort of does give you new utility skills, a full set of new utility skills.
Yeah, they addressed Revenant in that elite specialization blog post because it said like everybody would get 6 new utilities, where Revenant is going to get 1 heal, 1 elite, and 3 utilities.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay, that makes me worried.
Yeah.
That makes me very worried.
They kind of like you were just saying though, they do sort of get 6 utilities because they have 2 versions,
right?
Each of them.
They get
So-
they get 2 heals, they get 2 elites, and they get 6
yeah.
utilities technically. It's just you got to switch back and forth.
No, wait a second. No, the third if with the new specialization they get 1 heal, 3 elites, and 1 thing, that means they don't actually get that. In my head, that means that that's all attributed to 1 legendary. So you
Right.
will only have access to all those things if you pick that legendary.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
So
you're gonna
in-
mix it. You're probably. I mean, we don't know, but you're probably gonna mix it with another legend anyway. So you're still gonna have 2 legends. It's just that
Yeah.
one of them will be an elite legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems. I hope it's not going to be like that in the end. I honestly hope that you're going to have more utilities to choose from than just 3.
I mean, we haven't seen the whole class, but it seems like it's locked. Unless the elite specialization flips Revenant and says, okay, you have 3 utilities, 1 heal, 1 elite, but now instead of switching legends, you can now weapon swap instead of swapping utilities, which like
That
reverses
would
the
be
entire
interesting.
class.
You are your own legend.
That's right.
Ooh, motivational.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We just don't know enough about Revenant right now.
Yeah.
We need
Can-
more.
Can we make a petition to dual wield single wielded weapons, double shields, riot shield measurement?
The double shield.
I don't know that.
Dual
No,
wield
we
shields.
could make a petition.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
anything could be-
Change.gov.
Why not?
I mean,
Make a petition.
just make a straw poll, post it on Reddit, and watch it get downvoted. It would be. I encourage you to do it. Or actually, if you wanted to get upvoted, my advice to you is to pretend to be either impersonate Dolphy or impersonate Wooden Potatoes. Then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Or hack their Reddit accounts and do it. And
Or
post it
you
on
don't actually have to be Wooden Potatoes to get up Wooden Reddit. You just have to have a title that includes Wooden Potatoes. in it.
Yeah.
I don't
People.
even think
There you
he
go.
like, posts his
Yeah.
own stuff.
He never posts his own stuff. He's not a plebe like us. Script playable race? Question mark?
Nah.
In my
No.
dreams.
I don't think so.
Hyalek.
Is that
playable
really
race.
what's in your
I
dreams?
don't. I really
Highlight.
don't
It's in
want
my-
any more.
I mean, I would
rats.
absolutely love to be I would delete all my Azura and make all Skrit if that
Well-
was possible.
Azura are already rats, and Skrit
Yeah.
are just mice. So
Yeah, not quite the same.
It's exactly the same thing. To be honest,
No,
I
not even
struggle to
close.
tell the difference between Azura and Skrit.
Skrit have tails.
that's true.
That's true.
What
Tail
would you
envy.
rename Dragon Hunter if you could give it a better name?
Ooh.
I mean, I would, if there wasn't an armor type, I'd just say Zealot. Just cheesy. Cheesy and
Well, I
simple,
don't-
Zealot.
Zealot
But
sounds
isn't
cool,
there already Zeal as a trait line?
Exactly, yeah.
but- Yeah.
So it doesn't work.
Zealot's a cool name, but like longbow's a stupid weapon. Like I hate
Mm.
longbows.
Arrow of Justice.
I'd call it like I don't know. I'd call it like Winkle Dink or something, like something that no one would want to use.
Wing ding.
Winkledink, I like it. I would use that.
Yeah. If you're gonna give Guardian if you're gonna give it a cool name like Zealot or like
Justicar.
yeah,
oh,
something
Justicar,
like
that would be really good.
It has
Yeah.
to have like cool stuff. It has to have like dual wield great swords. And it has to be
Inquisitor.
awesome. Yeah,
Oh, that would be good.
that's my goal. But
Revenant specialization is Mistwalker? Question mark. Sure, why not?
that sounds as reasonable as anything.
No, I
guess.
don't think so. Because
You don't think so?
no, because if there's going to be a new legend with it, which is what they're probably going to do, because so far all of them they've messed around with the F1, the F skills, skills.
Mhm.
That would imply that Revenant will either have an additional legend, so 3 legends at once, or a new one that they can swap out. So it's going to be involved with the name of that legend, surely, rather than a more general term like Mistwalker.
Yeah, probably. What do you think are going to be all of the legends? Let's say there's going to be six because six total because you have your 5 core and then 1 elite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that does make sense. That makes sense.
Right,
actually.
but you don't get. It doesn't seem like you're getting a legend for. What was the third one that's in there right now?
I'd be surprised.
I think that.
If Shiro doesn't get in there, I'll be surprised.
Well, yeah, because of the skill we saw.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 4 plus elite, so 5.
Yeah.
I think Dolphy and Wooden Potatoes will be legends.
Didn't they data mine that there was going to be 6?
I don't know.
One legend will be Shrek.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think Shiro is a shoe-in.
Okay.
Shiro's a shoe, yeah.
Who else?
And then a lot of people have speculated on
Cons.
Glint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we saw the dragon there.
Yeah. Let's see what.
Kind of makes sense.
Heroes.
I don't know. Who else? What other...
Kos.
Kos on Kos?
Kos?
Kos
Yeah,
on
Kos
Kos.
is
But we
the
sort
best
of already
character.
have a warrior in
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah. I want Yakington legend, definitely.
Yes.
Yackington.
Yes, the yak.
The yak. That
Not
would
even
be
the
awesome.
professor, just the yak.
Mounts confirmed, and then your party members can ride you into battle.
Oh man. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's continue.
Okay.
Uh,
What?
Where are we now? Do you have any questions?
What do you hope they do better with the story in Heart of Thorns?
Well, I hope that I don't know. What was the problem I think with the story I found in the personal story, at least, not the living story. In the personal story, it was interesting because you had a lot of choices, but then it all amounted to nothing in the end. It would be cool if they. I don't think they're going to do choices in. I honestly think they're not going to do that in
Well,
HOT. Oh yeah, that's true. They have
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
There already were
But-
choices.
Supposedly the payoff for those is immediate rather than never.
Long term, yeah. Yeah,
I feel like I'm different because I kind of liked the personal story a lot.
yeah.
I really enjoyed playing through it. But
Up until the Zaitan fight, I didn't mind it either.
yeah, the Zaitan fight was stupid, but I don't know. I kind of I think my favorite part was when there was that Azura you went to help blow the ship up if you chose that and he died.
Gone.
I really like that.
Spoilers. What the
But-
fuck?
Yeah.
God damn it! I was saving that.
Oh, okay.
3 years into the game. Which actually
Yeah.
they're putting that story back in because that was removed when they did the new player instance or new player experience.
Oh, wow.
Ton got removed.
Well, that's
Yeah, that
even
one
better
brought
than
back-
That's
killing
going
him.
back though. I think that's all. They're
Yeah,
fixing.
they're bringing that all back soon.
Okay.
Well, okay, that question.
Fixing it.
That segues into how would we make the Mordremoth fight the best possible? Because Zaitan's was so terrible.
More interaction with the boss with your actual skills.
I think there should be stages that you can skip. Like, there's a stage when he's
Of course.
burrowing. No.
The dungeon runner wants stages you
Yeah.
can skip.
Burrowing out of the ground, and if you can fuck him up hard enough while he's doing that, he just dies right there. But then there's some sort of catastrophe. Like all the Mordrin see their leader die really quickly, and they just come in and attack you, and you have to kill them all. But then if he does get out of the ground, he starts to fly, and he's waking up like someone that just had their wisdom teeth removed or something, and he's just kind of thrashing, and there's not much sense to it.
Got a
And then
puffy face.
if you really suck at the game, he gets to the third stage where he's flying around, and there's no hope of beating him.
Oh, so Enrage
Yeah.
timer, kind of. Yeah,
Oh,
okay. I wouldn't
yeah.
mind an Enrage timer on it. That you actually fail. There's a way to fail it in the end. It's
Yeah,
not-
then there could even
Yeah.
be a cool cutscene where Logan Thackeray gets just blown up and shredded into pieces. And Ritlock sees it and he pulls off his blindfold and there's no eyes underneath.
There's no eyes there.
Yeah.
Yes. And
And
then,
so,
then all of a Logan pieces fall onto Hearn and he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would,
Kill all of the characters.
But then why would you ever succeed? Surely you just want to see that instead.
Yeah.
Why would you beat the game?
I mean, that's what we did at Tequatl sometimes. Like, we'd fail on purpose just so that we could use that jump pad when the big wave's coming by and see everybody die. Fun times. No, I would like that. So, yeah, a way to fail. I like that a lot. I think hard enough, first of all, that it's not easy to succeed, but there is also, it's failable. Like, it's not just failable because you give up, but it's failable because it's actually failable.
yeah. That would be. I don't know. I'd like something like that.
I'm kind of torn with a fight like that. I'm kind of torn whether I want it to be a single player encounter or a group encounter. I can kind of it depends how he's tied to the story. Zaitan was a bit jarring in one sense because the story is you're just yourself the entire way through, and then you get to the end and you do a dungeon and all five commanders kill Zaitan. You know,
It's a lot of commanders.
It's a lot of commanders. Everybody's in charge. So I don't know if it's going to be a single player encounter, then I want it to be extremely punishing and difficult for one player. I don't want it to be a walk in the park, regardless of whether it's one player or 5 people or 10 people. But I think that the fight could be more interesting if it was multiple people. It really depends in the context of how that's given to you to kill him.
Yeah. I would like to see more scale to it, even if it isn't more players. Say if you just had a massive army of NPCs helping you as well, even if they're not actually helping, just the fact that if they're present and, you know, as NPCs do, slashing away at something for 0 damage and not really doing anything, but as long as they're there. Because I mean, when we were fighting Zaitan, mashing the 1 key to fire cannons at him, even though that was just a horrible mechanic on its own, it's even more ridiculous by the fact that it's just us doing that. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, instead of like 10
we only had one ship.
Yeah, exactly. How's that going to do anything? It's a giant dragon. It's not. He's going to eat you. And then we'll be risen as the undead, and we'll kill our friends.
I thought it was kind of cool that we had there's a lot of dragons flying around. That was kind of cool. Made feel epic. But yeah, no, I think a bigger scale would be huge, but also it's hard when you have a bigger scale because then it's hard to make your character feel important in a big scale fight.
Right.
So
yeah, that's the downside of it.
Yeah. Well, you typing something there, Brazil?
No.
Anyway, so next question, I guess.
Okay, what moment in the Shrek movie made you cry the most?
The Onion speech.
The Onion
I didn't
speech.
cry through any of it. I laughed at all the swear words when I was a kid and I saw the first one. And my dad was wondering why he took me to see it, but I don't know. I don't think I cried in any of it.
No, I
haven't seen any of those movies in a long time, and I didn't cry at any of it. So Shrek's not a cry movie.
I cried through the whole thing.
It's really just the whole movie is really just about Donkey. Everybody else you could probably delete from the entire movie, and it could just be him.
I really related to that short guy,
the gingerbread man.
Farquaad. Apparently, I just realized this, but Farquaad, his name is a play on words.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
It's supposed to sound like fuckwad. Seriously, apparently they actually intended that.
Wow.
Yeah, it says it on Wikipedia. It's actually true.
Everything on Wikipedia is true. I may have just wrote that right now, but written.
I added it to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Should do you think ANET will make other armor types better so that not everybody's running Zerkers?
I think they'll change the fights. I think they'll change the fights to do that, not the armor.
I hope Berserker is the only armor set ever.
Yeah,
so that everybody else doesn't realize.
I think
actually-
they're gonna change fights and mechanics so that others become viable as well. But you can't just like nerf berserkers into the ground. It doesn't.
That doesn't fix the problem. That makes
it doesn't.
everything slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna keep the same. They're not gonna. They're gonna keep the numbers the same for each armor set. They're not gonna say, okay, 900, 300, 300 for berserkers, but now it's gonna be 800, 800, 800 for everybody else because
Reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not gonna buff anything.
No.
They're gonna make encounters harder.
Okay. Should we do one more question?
Okay.
Sure.
Instead
good
of
one.
instead of mounts, could we pay or bribe the Char to be mounts?
If you value your life, I wouldn't recommend it.
I don't really like Char, so like that's not my solution. My solution is like enslave them all, and
The Char?
force them to be mounts. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I don't think it would really work.
I mean, you never forget the searing, okay? Guild Wars 1, Char are not to be trusted. They're all evil at heart. They must be destroyed or enslaved.
There's a scene in Edge of Destiny where Ritlock picks up Snaff, and Snaff must grab his horns or something while he's on top, and he says, like, let go of my horns. He's like, oh, I thought they were meant for steering or something like that. He makes a dessert joke.
They're actually his erogenous zones.
And he's like I can steer myself or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, he can.
Well, if the Char are not to be trusted, and the Char are all evil, is there a Char dragon?
Ooh.
What dragon would be
For
the
sure.
Char dragon? I guess it would be
Primordius.
No,
He's the destroyer.
Primordius is the
kind of
Primordius is the
destroyer
Azura dragon.
Yeah.
What is it?
Azura and dwarves.
So I guess Kralkatorrik.
Kralkatorrik.
Created by the searing. Or no, they use Kralkatorrik magic to do the searing.
Mm.
Well, he kind of infects their lands as well, so I guess technically he's like the Char dragon, if you want to.
Yeah. You could say that.
Charter.
Charizard.
Yeah, there we go. Charizard confirmed.
Yep.
Okay, actually, let's do this.
So,
Yeah, no, we've got to do one more. We've got to do
Okay.
one more. Because this guy asked another question and we ignored him hardcore, I think. So I think he deserves it. What weapons would you like to see to get added?
Like new weapon types?
Yeah, new weapon types, yeah.
Rocket launchers,
spear,
Rocket launchers.
scythe.
grenades.
Those are already in the game, though.
Those are already in the
Oh,
game.
yeah, I guess they are, aren't they?
Fist weapons.
Yeah,
weapons.
unarmed weapons.
Yeah, like claws, maybe.
Yeah, death claw
Fist weapons would be
gauntlets.
cool. I could see them adding whips. I could see them adding. You laugh at whips, but
I laugh at whips. I don't see them adding whips.
You don't think so? It was
Well,
one of
I
those
don't,
you
I
could
don't
pick
think
up.
cars really have a
abilities.
place in Guild Wars 2, personally. But
What's that?
cars,
Oh, car.
Cars.
whips, you know.
Oh boy. Pole arms. I mean, yeah, they could make spears land weapons and stuff. I guess a lot of people want great axe.
That, yeah, I'd like
Yeah,
that.
great axe.
Massive
They could do like
axe.
crossbow. Like we have pistols, but we don't have crossbows. I don't know. That's kind of odd, isn't it?
No.
No.
One-handed bows? Yeah, maybe. But you have a pistol already, so...
It's kind of the same.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
Sort of.
crossbows could be two-handed.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a two-handed crossbow.
It just seems like we're at that
Flails.
time in civilization in whatever. They've made guns already. They're not going to start inventing crossbows.
Yeah, but they still use
Yeah.
longbows. I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Bows are still good weapons. They're silent.
But deadly.
But I guess that doesn't matter.
The problem with some of these weapons, so like someone said something about flails.
Those could be okay.
Did they fix that bug? Because there was the Super Adventure box was a flail.
Oh,
I don't
instead
know
of...
whether I don't know whether that was intended to be a flail or not, but
That was a flail as a bug, really?
yeah, the mace head like would drop down to the side, and when you swung it, it like
That's gotta be intentional.
flail.
Okay.
It's gotta be intentional. How could you make that not intentional?
I don't know. You could have nunchucks like in Super
Oh.
Adventure Box.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Nunchucks would be cool.
Yeah.
Or so in that case, going along that line, are you ever getting Cantha?
I mean, I think eventually.
Yeah.
I just not anytime soon.
I think we'll get
2
there,
years.
and it will be corrupted. It'll be
Oh, you
completely
think?
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Because as soon as they say, right, we're going to bring Cantha, that means they actually have to make more than 3 maps. Surely. I mean, they're not going to get away with, you know, they're not Heart of Cantha. They're not going to do, you know, Heart of Thorny Cantha. It's not.
It'll be in
it's not
2
gonna work.
years. It'll be another
Well-
expansion.
In Fractal's like Jade Maw, do we have any idea like what period of time that's from?
I think that that's when the Jade was still around, so it
It's
was
not
probably
around anymore.
it's not around anymore, the
Okay.
Jade. So that's a good point actually. It's like finally they cured themselves of the Jade. Now everything's water again, and then as everything's water again, in comes Bubbles because
Yeah.
there's water there now.
Sure.
It's like, oh shit, we should have left the Jade.
Can't catch a break.
You want a PvP, guys?
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we
Okay.
play a PvP match?
I'll
Okay.
do that.